What's going on, everybody? I'm Matt Dimech.
And I'm Madison Elliott.
And today you're watching Fantasy Football Stardom Sit-Ems for Week 10. For my first pick, I'm going to be taking Miami Dolphins running back Devon Achane. Achane is coming in hot off of a 32-point performance last week. He had 12 touches for 63 yards and a touchdown on the ground, while he was 8 for 8 on targets for 58 yards. Tua coming back has gotten Devon Achane backfiring in this offense, who was struggling in the weeks without him. In this season, in games where Tua makes a start, Devon Achane has been the best running back in fantasy football. In the 4 games where Tua started, Achane finished as the RB3 once and the RB2 3 times, putting up 23, 30, 27, and 32 in those games. I expect Devon Achane to carry on this dominance this week.
I'm actually going to take, for my first start of the week, Rams running back Kyren Williams versus the Miami Dolphins. Although Stafford has Kupp and Puka Nacua back, the Rams have been loving to run the ball when they're given the opportunity. The Dolphins have been abysmal against running backs this season. While much of their misfortune against opposing running backs has been when Tua was out, they are still surrendering 4.6 yards per carry on the season and have allowed at least one touchdown to opposing running backs in every game so far this season.
For my second starting pick, I'm going to be taking Tank Dell. Tank Dell is proving himself as the Texans' current wide receiver 1. The injuries of Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs have opened up space for Tank Dell to come in and make a big impact on this Texans offense. Last week, Dell had 9 targets, of which he hauled in 6 for 126 yards. This performance got him 8.5 points, following his 13.5 points in the week prior. Tank Dell will stay as the wide receiver 1 coming into this week against the Lions, who have been one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL, giving up over 250 yards per game. Tank Dell should make a great second wide receiver in your fantasy teams this week.
Next, for my next start, I have Tampa Bay tight end Cade Otton versus the San Francisco 49ers. Otton secured 8 for 11 targets on 77 yards and a touchdown versus the Chiefs on Monday night. He led the Buccaneers across the board in receptions, receiving yards, targets, which is unsurprising because the Bucs are down Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Jalen McMillan. Over the last 3 games, Otton has had double-digit targets, at least 8 receptions, and over 75 yards with 3 touchdowns.
For my first sit-em pick, I'm going to be taking DJ Moore. DJ Moore has been struggling in recent weeks. He has not had a double-digit point game since week 5. A combination of bad offensive line play and bad play calling have led to an overall lack of production in their offense, and the Bears' offense has just been completely incoherent, despite having one of their most talented rosters in the franchise's history. Now, Moore does have a favorable matchup against the Patriots defense this week, who have struggled against defending the pass. However, Moore has faced subpar passing defenses in each of his games since week 5 and is still struggling to produce. DJ Moore shouldn't be starting unless the Bears seem to turn around things offensively at some point this season.
Speaking of the Bears, I'm going to sit Patriots quarterback Drake May against the Bears this week. Although May has made the Patriots more watchable so far this season, I think it's best to leave him on your bench this week. The Bears rank first in the league against quarterbacks, allowing the fewest fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks. May also had only 1 touchdown versus Tennessee. While he did have 95 rushing yards, I wouldn't expect a similar performance against a strong Bears defense.
For my final sit-in pick, I'm going to be taking another Miami Dolphin. I'm going to be sitting Jalen Waddle this week. Jalen Waddle has been disappointing all season long. He has not had a double-digit scoring game since week 1, and many managers were hopeful that the return of Tua would help him turn his season around, and 2 weeks in, that just doesn't seem to be the case. Waddle has not made more than 4 catches in any of his games since week 1. He just caught his first touchdown of the season last week, and with a tough matchup against the Rams this week, Waddle should not be starting on your fantasy teams.
All right, for our last hit today, I have Denver Broncos running back Javonte Williams versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City ranks first in the league against running backs this season so far. The Kansas City defense has been too good, and Bo Nix has been underwhelming. Javonte Williams has not topped 50 yards or got a touchdown in 3 of his last 4 games. As of right now, I think it's a safe bet to sit almost everybody, especially running backs, against this Kansas City team.
That's going to do it for our Fantasy Football Stardom Sit-em picks for Week 10. Good luck out there, fantasy owners.